here with the 2021 Lexus IS. So it is a refreshed IS, significantly refreshed, but it is not a completely new generation. That said, there are significant changes on the outside. There have been some changes inside as well, but Lexus says the most important changes can be found in the driving dynamics. This is a car that has been tested extensively on a new testing track built by Lexus in Japan recently, and this is the first car to be engineered using that track. So there's supposed to be a lot better handling, driving dynamics, and performance in the new IS. So we're going to head out on the road and we're going to check it out. So we're on a winding road right now, and the goal is really to see, just how far along Lexus engineers have made the IS. We're in the IS 350 right now. There's definitely some handling improvements. What you notice when you're driving the IS and you're going around winding corners is that I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's as sharp as an Audi A4 or a BMW 3 Series. But it's not going to be any further than that in terms of how far it is from the sportiest vehicles in the segment. It is sharp. It feels that the steering wheel is very well weighted. It's very heavy, or the right amount of heavy that you want. And it does feel poised. It does feel in control. On the other hand, the road that we're on right now, it's kind of going up and down and around, essentially. There is some hesitation from the engine. This is the most powerful engine. It's the 3.5 liter V6, 311 horsepower. When you kind of go off the throttle and back on, there is some hesitation before the power delivery comes back, and that's a bit annoying, especially coming out of turns. And if you like to drive dynamically, you are going to notice it, that you're kind of always looking for a bit sort of faster response from the engine. But in terms of the handling, the car really feels very well weighted and very, very stable and confident in very sharp turns. So that's what the IS does well. Now let's look at what the IS doesn't do so well. When it comes to interior space, this new generation hasn't increased, whether it be passenger space or cargo space. And the IS has always been one of the smaller luxury compacts you can buy, and this new model or refreshed model doesn't do anything to change that. So it's very tight in the back seats. It's also tight up front, and this cockpit here is also very, very tight. So you kind of feel really not claustrophobic, but you have a big center console here. The door is very wide here. This is very bulky, so everything is kind of large and in your face, and your knee is going to be touching on this side here. Your knees are going to be touching this side here. Admittedly, there is some padding, so it's not you're not going to get hurt, but it really does feel sort of constrained and restrained inside the IS, and it doesn't get much better in the back. We also have to talk about the powertrains. The IS will continue with an entry-level 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that makes 241 horsepower, or, as I mentioned previously, this 3.5-liter V6 that makes 311 horsepower. Now, the IS, regardless of which engine you choose, feels slightly underpowered compared to the competition. So your 241 horsepower, now granted we haven't driven it, but we drove the previous generation, and it's essentially a carryover engine. And so what you're not going to feel that you're in a quick car in the entry-level model like you would in the entry-level 3 Series or even the entry-level A4. Those cars feel quicker, they feel more dynamic in accelerations and passing. Not saying the IS is slow, but the powertrain end is definitely on the slow side, regardless of which one you choose for the segment. As for this 3.5-liter V6, it definitely improves performance over the base 2-liter. However, you don't feel like you have 311 horsepower. Maybe the best way I could put it is you feel like you have maybe 275, 280 horsepower. It's smooth, it's linear, it behaves very well, but buyers who are looking for a little bit of extra kick and punch in their compact luxury sedan, they may feel like they're missing out in the IS. So now that we're out of the winding roads and we're actually going in a straight line, that's where the IS really shines. It's very, very quiet. It's very comfortable as well. The seats, you know, they're a bit tight, but they are supportive. They are comfortable. There's something really neat about the IS. There's I guess you could call it a shin holder that you can rest your right leg on when your foot's on the accelerator. And I haven't seen this in any other compact luxury sedan. And it really just lets you sort of ease into the drive and just sort of enjoy it. It's a very mellow experience. So when it comes to comfort, the IS is once again really near the top of the segment, if not right at the top, for how it behaves and just how refined it is on the road. Ultimately, the 2021 Lexus IS is definitely sharper. It's more enjoyable on a winding road, and you can tell that the dynamics have been improved. There's still the problem, depending on your point of view, in terms of the engine performance overall. These aren't the quickest engines in the segment for the price. There's also some space issues inside. It's still a small compact luxury sedan. But in terms of pure driving pleasure and also comfort, which remains a strong IS selling point, that is preserved and even improved in the 2021 model.